Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and today we're going to do another instalment in our golf swing fundamentals, and in particular today we're going to look at setup procedures. So if you're interested in this, stay tuned. So if you really want to get better at golf, one of the best ways to improve your golf is to click on the subscribe button and the bell notification, then you're on your way. So today in particular, we're going to look at setup procedures. So there are 5 areas that we're going to look at in this video. Okay, so the first skill we're looking at today is the distance from the ball. So when we take our golf setup, a lot of people say, how far should I stand from the ball? It's actually a misleading argument to say, how far do we stand from the ball? Because we've got 14 different clubs in the bag. They're all different lengths. So if I pull out my driver and I've got my 8-iron here, there are 2 totally different lengths at play. So the distance that I stand from the ball changes with every single club. And I don't know about you, but there's no way in the world I can remember 14 different distances. So the way I work it out is that no matter what the club is that's in our hands, we need to be 1 hand span from the end of that club. So that makes it really easy, whether it's a 7-iron, a driver, a 3-wood, a pitching wedge, we need to stand 1 hand span from the end of the golf club. That just makes it so much easier and less complicated. So the second area we're going to discuss today is arm position. So when we take our setup, we've established that we're 1 hand span from the end of the club, and from this angle here, a lot of people think they need their hands up high. I think it's really overcomplicated. It should not be as complicated as what most people make it out. So what I like people to do is just basically to let their arms hang. Wherever the arms hang, if you join your hands together and then you put a club in there, you've got a nice angle here from the arm down the shaft of the club. Now that position there enables my hands to work freely during the golf swing. Unfortunately, if I get my hands up here where we have the arm and the club as an extension of each other, that makes it very difficult for me to swing and use my hands in any way. It's locking and blocking my wrists out of the shot. So really all we need to do is just let the arms hang naturally, put our hands on the club, we make sure we're a hand span from the end of the club, and then we're good to go. So the third area we're looking at today is the positioning of the hands in relation to the ball. So we've already established that we're a hand span, that our arms are just hanging freely. Some people think we should have our hands in front. Now unfortunately, when we get our hands in front and getting the arm, that left arm and the club in a straight line, that also locks my wrists into a position I don't want to be in. We want to be able to utilize our hands and release our hands through the ball. So the best position for that to be in is just to have our hands level. If we're chipping, that's a different story, but just for a standard golf shot, we just want to have our hands level with the ball, so there's a slight angle there. We don't want to get those hands in front. It's just in there, and that's a fairly natural position for us to create a golf swing from. So the next area we're going to be looking at is the positioning of the spine. So when I take my setup, I'll see a lot of people when they start playing golf, and some that are fairly experienced, having their spine too straight. The problem with having the spine too straight is that as I come down, my stomach gets in the way, and yeah, I could probably do with losing a few kilos, but even if I did, my stomach is still going to get in the way. So what we need to do is we need to tilt the spine forward. So I like to think of it as if I'm going to dive into a pool, into a diving stance. My spine is tilted forward. Now with my spine in that position, that then gives me free access down to the golf ball. If I've got my spine straight, my stomach is in the way, so then my brain will think, okay, I can't get down to the ball that way, I've got to throw it out that way and get my hands away from my body, which some people call casting, It's just giving yourself the chance to hit the ball, and you can do it decently, but it's not going to be consistent, and you are going to hit it with either a pull or a fade. It's much easier to develop the correct spine angle when we start. So it's just a diving stance. You can see there that I've got a nice angle between my spine and the legs, and once again from there I'm good to develop a natural golf swing. And the final area today we're going to be looking at is the positioning of our legs. So similar to that last one where we talked about spine angle, a lot of people, when they straighten their spine, the natural reaction then is to squat down there. Now, we do need to move our body and legs and shoulders and hips during the golf swing. Golf is a dynamic movement. We move to the right and we move through to the left. Now, the problem with that is if I squat down, it's very restrictive. I can't really turn very well. So if I can keep my legs reasonably straight, and then we get our spine tilted forward, and then I just flex the knees just to get rid of the tension from the kneecaps. I don't really want to squat and have downward pressure, but I do want that tension to be out of the kneecaps. And from there, once again, I'm ready to go with a good swing. Now, the bonus tip that I'm going to include now is that we need to talk about width of stance. And over the years, the width of stance has changed. When I was growing up, it was shoulder width. And to a degree, it's still shoulder width, but with the amount of club head speed these modern golf pros are generating when they hit tee shots, you've probably noticed on the television, they're certainly getting their feet wider apart. Well, they need that to create some stability through impact. If you have a stance that's too wide, it does restrict how much you move, but these guys are generating such an enormous amount of club head speed, they need a more solid base. Think of it, if you're building a Lego tower and you're putting 30 bricks up on top, you need quite a wide base to stop it from falling over. So the more power you generate in a golf swing, the wider your stance should be. But I think a good position to start from is shoulder width. And the shoulder width, in my opinion, is measured from the outsides of the feet, not the insides of the feet. Unless we get to that driver, there is a benefit in getting slightly wider with the driver. So that pretty much covers my golf swing fundamentals and setup procedures. Thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.